Good afternoon, friends. My name is Abby Clark. I'm on the morning set and influenced here on KUVO, and you're tuned to KUVO. We're live from the Bonfils Satin Performance Studio here at 21st and Arapahoe in Denver. Live performances are made possible by members just like you. Become a member today at kuvo.org. I am so excited to welcome renowned drummer Willie Jones III and his trio. We got Danton Bowler on bass and Tyler Bullock on the keys. Along with them is noted saxophonist Brad Lely. Thank you guys so much for joining us and sharing your music with the community. Let's get started then. excited to be joined by the great, renowned drummer Willie Jones III and amazing saxophonist Brad Lely. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having
That
me.
performance, I could not stop moving. So good, so swinging, so much emotion in your playing. I'm excited to be able to chat with you now. So let's start with Willie. Willie Jones III, you're just this force in jazz. You're celebrated and in-demand drummer. On the other side of the glass, you're also a producer. You're an instrumental in modern jazz, even teaching the next generation at the faculty of Northwestern University. And Brad Lely, paving the way as a saxophonist with your own unique style, sometimes nodding back to the greats of the past. New York Times said, among the most soulful and exciting heard recently, and you keep yourself busy too with series of recordings, performances, and an educator yourself. So I just wanted to start out, with the fact that you're right on the tour right now. You're busy year-round as a producer, but you're on tour. You got some dates in New York, New Jersey, and now you're here. How's it like being out on the road?
It's great. I mean, I love to travel. Not the part going through the airports and security and all that stuff. That's the job. I get paid to do that. But once you get there, like the session we just did, that's my passion. That's what I love to do. And playing music for different audiences around the world, that's priceless. So that's what I love to do.
Amazing. And are you on tour too, or just popping in Denver to play the set with them?
I'm just popping in.
Love it.
Right now.
I love it. I want to get to how y'all met, but I want to talk a little bit about the trio that you're with. Can you talk about how you guys met or what you like about playing with them?
It kind of all, it's funny because it all mixes together. Danton, the bass player, Danton Bowler and I, we go way back. We're both from L.A.
Okay.
All right. And about the time that we first met, at jam sessions around L.A. was when I first met Brad, who I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was playing with Harry Connick at the time. And so when Harry Connick was first coming through L.A. with his big band, was Magnorelli with you? They were coming to we used to host a jam session in L.A., and Brad came through and jammed with us, and that was how we first linked up. About the same time that I started playing with Danton. So we've been playing together for 30 years. And this is about the first time Brad and I have played together in almost 25 years.
Yeah, that's right.
How special. Oh, my gosh. I mean, you picked up right where you left off.
That's what it feels like. Yeah, like we never stopped.
Yeah, the communication just with the instruments and just the vibe of all y'all together was amazing to watch. I mean, Brad, you got your roots here in Denver.
Yes, I did.
We're so excited to have you back. I just wanted to know, can you kind of take us through what it was like musically growing up here?
It was beautiful. I mean, it was jazz. It was a community of musicians. I think it was similar to what Willie had. I would go to the Peck at a very young age. I was in my teens. And not only the Peck, but there were so many other places to go to, and you could sit in with the musicians, and you could just sit there and learn, and they would be giving. And it was just a community of phenomenal musicians just everywhere. And so having that foundation was just, I think it was, it's not that I think, it's something that I cherish. I didn't realize how fortunate I was at the time, but now that I'm older and things have changed, I relish the way I was raised, and not only the jazz, but the gospel and just the community of music and musicians.
Yeah, and you're a third generation musician yourself, and growing up, learning from your dad, but then also learning from many of the greats as well, playing with people like Sonny Rollins, Houston Person, Roy Hargrove. I mean, and now y'all are here and giving back to the next generation and to other musicians yourself. I mean, Willie Jones III, you founded in 2000 the independent jazz label WJ3 Records, and it's really instrumental in the continuum of jazz. You have some great recordings under your belt from artists like Cyrus Chestnut, Eric Reed, Justin Robinson, your own. As a producer, can you talk about what it's like to make that jump and some of your takeaways for doing this for the past almost 25 years?
Yes, I didn't really consider it, or I don't consider it like a jump. I just look at it as it's a necessity. Um, it's hard, or at least in my experience, it was hard to get a record deal. I'm not even sure if they exist anymore, but getting a major label to record me or give me some type of deal was not in the books. It was not so. Instead of making a demo, just make a record. And now technology has made it easier than ever to make your own recording. So yeah, why wait? Put it out yourself, and if you sell 10 copies, you're good. If you sell 1,000 or 5,000, what have you, you own your own music, which I was always told that by people like Billy Higgins, Tootie, Heath. Be in control of your music and masters.
You both are big collaborators. Exciting, 25 years later to collaborate together. What does that feel like to be able to hop around and play with a bunch of different musicians?
Well, it feels great. It's oh man, it's so gratifying because everyone has their own history of getting into the music and they have their own thing, but we all collectively share a certain love for not only the music but the history and the history makers. So it's fun when you can not only share the bandstand with people, but you can get off the bandstand and still share so many meaningful moments that have to do with life and just are certain experiences that kind of coexisted together. It's really fascinating.
And we were just talking about this record here, your latest that you produced, Abina Kumson Davis, Where is Love? You're on this, but you also
Yes.
play with a lot of people on your label. So what does that collaboration mean to you?
It means that I'm very fortunate to have friends. The people that I've been blessed to record are friends of mine. So that's been my history. Like some of my friends are some of the greatest musicians in the world, and I've been fortunate that they've allowed me to produce them. And Abina Kusum Davis is the latest project that's going to come out on WJ3 Records.
So exciting. I want to talk about jazz, in its state, where it's going. Both of you are educators, so you're very instrumental in the lives of young musicians, figuring out their voice, getting out there into jazz. Can you talk about each of you where, the state of jazz is now and where you see it going?
Well, I'll say right now, I mean, the state of jazz and the future of jazz is in great hands. I mean, our pianist, Tyler Bullock, he's the future of jazz. He's a student at Juilliard, and he's one of the fresh new voices that's coming along that's going to carry the torch of the music. So, I mean, the music will always carry on. There's always going to be people who want to play the music and listen to the music. I always feel the question will be the people who will want to cover the music. That's the question. There's always going to be people who want to play the music. I'm never worried about young people wanting to cover the music. I mean, if you go to New York right now, you can go to Smalls on any given night, late night jam session. There's tons of young musicians waiting to sit in and play. And yeah, I feel good about, as you would say, the state of jazz.
Yeah, I have to mirror that. I feel good about it as well. I never thought I'd be at this point. I remember being in groups where they would ask, our leaders, "What do you think about the future of the music?" Now they're asking us. Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's great. There are so many young musicians that are hungry, and they really cherish the history of this music, and they are also voices of their own generation, which I find is important because they certainly have to speak the language and learn what has happened before them, but they also have to be able to speak within what's happening in their era, because that's what's going to, I think, attract, people, young people, their age and younger. So I really think it's great. I think it continues and continues. If we look throughout history, I mean, that's what Louis Armstrong was doing. That's what Duke Ellington was doing. Bird, Train, Cannonball, Miles, they're all doing that. So it's very interesting and it's exciting. I think I mirror Willie's point is you were saying that people that are going to
promote the music. Write about the music.
That's the
thing. Question.
Yeah, that's the question.
I can't say how confident I feel about that. That's all. That's open. That's an open question. And we'll see.
Hey, I mean, I love what I do in terms of being able to share this music, and I know there's a lot of love in the KUVO community and beyond for it. So
yes.
I'm rooting for it. Okay, so I want to talk about your performances here in town. You're going to be playing tonight, March 13th, and tomorrow, March 14th. What do y'all have in store? What kinds of, this is probably just a taste of what we're getting for the whole performance.
Yeah, this is definitely a sample of what we're going to do the next 2 nights at Dazzle. Originally, it was supposed to be Houston Person on the show.
Mm-hmm.
He's on my latest recording.
Mm-hmm.
That's not out yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, having Brad Lely, I think it's fitting reunion for us. And so we're going to play some of his music, some of my music, some standards, and just a mixture of tunes that we both enjoy playing.
Yeah, it's been exciting to listen to a lot of Willie's original material that I hadn't heard before. So I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm a little nervous, but I'm ready.
Oh.
I want to get on it. And that's exciting. That's what it's all about too. Just being able to someone to trust you with their music, because your personal compositions are pretty. You have certain things in mind when you write them. You're hearing certain things. And so, it takes a lot of trust, acceptance, and when you have people reading and interpreting your music, it's really something else. Yeah.
Well, there was a lot of respect and trust, it seemed, on this stage, all of you working together to play the music. So I'm excited for what you have in store, and I'm so grateful to be able to sit down and talk to you both. You are very instrumental in what's going on in jazz. So I'm just very happy. Thank you so much, both of you, Bradley Lee and Willie Jones III.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Of course.